Hello, and welcome to the Kitty Cat Lane. My name is Lane, and today I'm going to be giving some tips and advice for drawing faces. If you've ever looked up a guide for how to draw a face, or taken an art class where the teacher wants you to draw a human face, you've probably seen one of those face illustrations with a bunch of lines going across it like a grid. The guidelines are supposed to help you know where to draw each feature and how to keep it symmetrical, but if they aren't explained well, they can just be more confusing than helpful. It's like those how to draw books that have steps like this.
First, draw a circle.
Okay, yeah, easy enough.
Then, add a cross.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Now, add some grid work.
Whoa, wait a minute, that's a lot to do in one step.
Now add the details, and you're done.
What? I thought you were supposed to teach me how to do it. How'd you skip from step 3 to what looks like step 10 with no explanation? Besides, that's trying to teach you how to draw a realistic face. How's that supposed to help you if you have more of a stylized cartoon or anime style? Well, I think that having a basic idea of how these guidelines work can help you bend and break them to fit your style, and it might even help you find your style if you haven't found it already. So let's jump into a quick, simplified crash course on some basic facial proportions. And remember that different people have different features, so this one guideline will not perfectly match every face. I'm drawing the guide with features that resemble my own, and if you're following along or plan to try this at some point, I encourage you to make the features look more like your features. Now for a quick disclaimer, I am using the symmetry tool for this demonstration, but it would be more beneficial to practice without it. The guides serve as a way to measure the proportions of the face, to know where to put them, but also to help you see how to keep both sides looking symmetrical without a tool. When I was recording this, I just wanted to try and keep things condensed and decided that this would help me keep things moving as swiftly as possible for everyone else. When trying to draw a face, you usually want to start with a circle and then draw some extensions down to a point to form the jaw. It's usually about the same length as the circle that you originally drew. I went ahead and added some extra extrusions where I thought the cheekbones would be, but that's optional at this stage. Next, we draw a horizontal guideline about halfway through the head. This will be the top of the eyes. Then find the halfway point between that line and the bottom of the head and draw a new line. This is where the base of the nose will be. Find the halfway point between the newest line and the bottom of the head again, and that will be where the mouth goes. Moving back up to the top line, we can add another line roughly a fourth of the way to the top of the head, where the eyebrows will go. And about a third of the way between the eye line and the nose line, you're going to make one more line. That's going to be the bottom of the eyes. Since I'm using the symmetry ruler, I already have a vertical line going through the top of the skull all the way down to the chin, so I don't need to draw that. And while I was recording the video, I skipped adding these next two lines because I knew I could eyeball it for the eyes. But if you'd feel more comfortable having the guidelines, you can divide both sides of the face in half, then do it once more, dividing them into fourths. The first division is the center of the eye, and the next two are the corners of the eye. You can use the inner corner line of the eye to find the corners of the nose. Then the ears are usually roughly the same size as the length from the top of your eyes to the base of your nose. Find the halfway point between the top of the skull and the eyebrow line, and you should have a good idea of where the hairline should go. Use the brow line to make the brows as thick or as thin as you'd like. And lastly, let's use the center of the eyes as a guide for where the corners of the mouth should be, and then connect them. You can touch it up and make changes as needed, as well as experiment with different distances between each guidelines to make more interesting and more unique faces. The main reason why it's good to have an idea of how to use and break down the face into different portions is so we can still keep some form of structure to our faces. The way you choose to stylize the features of your characters is based around the way you tend to make the proportions. So if you draw your characters with really big anime-like eyes that don't match this guideline, that's okay. That doesn't make them wrong, you're just changing the structure to better align with your style. Now, if you are unintentionally doing something wrong, like accidentally drawing a person that has one extra long leg, or their hand is turned at an impossible angle, learn from your mistakes and try to correct it next time. No need to try and pretend that it's your style just because you don't know how to draw something yet. We've all been there, we're all learning, it's okay. On the other hand, if you're doing something incorrectly on purpose, do your best to make sure that it's obvious that the inaccuracies are intentional and making it consistent with the style of the rest of the character. Now here's one more tip for how to simplify your guidelines for a quicker way to keep your faces consistent. You may or may not have heard of this trick already, but it's called the mask method. You just draw a superhero-esque mask around the eye socket area. So following the brow and circling back up under the eyes. This is really helpful for keeping eyes aligned as well as thinking through some of the fun expressions they can make. I absolutely love this method, and I've even adapted it to my own version, my heart method. Or you could even make it a diamond shape too if you'd like. But I like to do the upper half of the mask and then bring the bottom down to meet where I think the nose should be. Then you can squash and stretch the heart to make any angle or expression work and stay in shape. Here are some doodles and different examples of how I like to use the heart method. I hope you all found this video to be fun or helpful, and if you liked it, please leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. I'm working on the big celebration video that will be out sometime after August 10th. Check out my latest community post if you're interested in learning more. I'm also working on another upcoming special video with another artist. So expect to see some fun and exciting videos this month. Thank you all so very much for taking a walk down the kitty cat lane with me, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Here's the secret kitty of the day. Bye bye.